Hello, this is Jennifer and Ray here from Skyrise Real Estate Group, and today we're going to dive into some big economic data. We just got the job reports last week that we've all been waiting for, as well as some housing starts. So, Ray, we're looking at this data, and we've all been waiting for it since the big mess with the government shutdown last year. What do the numbers look like?
Well, it's solid, but soft. Jennifer, as we know that BLS report came out, non-farm payroll, and it was around 50,000 plus in December. So it was a little below expectations. So around 70,000 in the weakest annual gain since non-recession years. So only 584 jobs were added all of 2025. So unemployment dipped to about 4.4%. So, it was revised from the 4.5. So it's pretty healthy still. So we had no mass layoffs. We've been hearing about a lot of the layoffs, but there was no mass layoffs towards the end of the year. The labor market showing some resilience. So the wages, modestly, are about 0.3% monthly. It's a low fire environment, steadying up for the confidence. That's the part, but not the boom we saw in pre-2025. So what do you think, Jennifer?
That's really reassuring, Ray. So when we're seeing confidence in the job market, that means that people feel more confident when they're looking at maybe making bigger purchases, like buying a home. So with that, let's also look at the starting numbers for homes. We are seeing that overall construction has been very choppy, but it is trending sideways. And in some areas, it's actually up. We are seeing the forecast for supply up by 9%, which is a big deal.
Yeah, Jennifer, that's right. And that helps balance things out. Home prices has cooled. Experts like Realtor.com forecast just about a 1 to 2% national rise in 2026. So what does that mean? Well, except for maybe some certain areas like the Midwest, Northeast, those areas have very limited supply of homes. But NAR is calling for a solid rebound. Now they're thinking existing home sales will be up around 14% is what they're projecting in 2026. And that's 4% higher than 2025. Of course, there's some better affordability and rates because prices have come down and rates have been holding steady around the 6.0 to 6.1. Now Zillow is being a little more conservative. They're saying about a 1 to 2% price growth. So, that's a modest sales bump. So I think it's going to be somewhere is probably projecting between 6 and 8, going through these several decades of ups and lows of real estate, as we're always going to have. So bottom line, no crash, but we're definitely having a stabilization of the market, which we need, and a gradual pickup. And from that, we will see what happens. I think 2026 could be a very good year. What do you think, Jennifer?
And what about interest rates? We are seeing interest rates in the low sixes. We're seeing between 6.1, 6.2 for a 30-year fix. Now, this is way better than the 7% we were seeing before. So if the Fed continues to lower interest rates, we're going to start to see more of a relief and more of housing affordability. Right, Ray?
Exactly. For buyers and sellers, again, reiterating, the data screams opportunity.
Yep.
In a balanced market, jobs holding, and finally, we're getting that. Of course, we've had a down cycle. Inventory's growing slowly. It's going slow. Rates in the low sixes, as you were saying. Buyers have more choices, less frenzy. Makes it a little bit more comfortable for buyers to want to buy a home. Sellers, now they're becoming more realistic. They're bringing the prices to where buyers are getting interested. So, and as spring could heat up with the seasonal demand, I think that's what we're going to see. I'm starting to see some buyers asking about what's going to happen in April and May. So no one's getting rich overnight, but I think 2026 looks firmer, a lot firmer than 2025.
I agree with you, Ray. I love the optimism. So what does this mean for you, the buyer? This means that now is a better time than any to go get pre-approved. Start looking on the market, see what's available. Get familiar with some of the neighborhoods in the area. And give us a call. Reach out to us. If you have any questions, we are always more than happy to answer any of the questions you have. We do have an office in the Silicon Valley, and we also have an office that we've expanded into Las Vegas. So if you are in either one of those areas and you are looking to purchase a home, why not? Let's turn those 2026 dreams that you've been having into realty.
Have a great day.